Hello, Realtors. Welcome to your SCR update. This is episode number 355. As always, I'm your host, Nick Kremydas, Chief Executive Officer, and I am pleased to be with you today. It's March the 24th. It's March the 24th today. We've luckily have got a little bit of rain going on, at least here in Columbia today, right, Mike? Washing away some of that pollen, and I know it's been really bad for you pollen sufferers out there, so I hope y'all are all managing allergy season, because it's in full bloom in South Carolina. I'm very, very fortunate today to introduce to you, no stranger to the Realtor family, a longtime friend, longtime advocate for housing in South Carolina, Clayton Ingram. He has served in the community policy and economic development arenas in state government for almost 30 years. And about as long as I've been here with the association, Clayton, in areas ranging from risk management, I should say, to public health and insurance. Recently his focus has been on increasing affordable housing in the state. He spent 12 years with SC Housing before moving to the State Department of Public Health during the pandemic years. He's back at SC Housing and working with Director Richard Hutto as the External Relations and Policy Manager for the agency. Clayton, welcome, and glad to have you back here at SCR.
Oh, it's great to be back. Always a good day to be here, and even though there's some rain, it's always a good day to get someone in a home of their own, isn't it?
Absolutely. Our realtors on the beach like to call rain liquid sunshine.
Yep. And we did need the pollen washed away, so I'm happy to see it for a little while.
Absolutely. Well, you're here today to talk to us a little bit about the Palmetto Heroes program, and I know that SC Housing has been a champion for a long time, finding ways to help especially first-time home buyers achieve that American dream. And even though the program has been out there for a long time, a lot of our members may not be familiar with it. So I'm so glad that you're here today. Can you tell us a little bit about the program, who can benefit from it, how do you apply for it? Kind of give us the ins and outs of the Heroes program.
Oh, sure. Yeah, Palmetto Heroes launching today. This is the day we set the interest rate, and this is the first day that we will be able to take applications. Been one of our most popular programs since we started more than a decade ago, and always a lot of interest in it. The money goes fast, unfortunately, these days, but you've got a little bit of time. And this is a program that we started originally to honor teachers. It started out because, as you know, teachers at one time and still were so vital to us, but were having a hard time on their salary going into home ownership and setting down roots in the communities where they lived and taught. It did that for many years, and it was so popular that we got to request after request after request to expand it. So now we've expanded it to the everyday heroes, the people that make our communities run on a day-to-day basis. And I'll just go down the list. Now it's...
Well, like we were talking about before the cameras, we turned the cameras on today. You know, first-time home buyers are facing the biggest challenges that they've probably ever seen in a South Carolina real estate market. Inventory is still at historic lows. Interest rates are still much higher than they were pre-pandemic. Cost of housing has increased by more than 60% since the pandemic. And these heroes are the ones who serve in our communities, but yet many times they can't afford to live in the communities that they serve. So
exactly,
how does the program help them out?
Yeah, and that takes a toll on everyone. It takes them out of the community. It increases commute times. It increases the cost of what they're doing. But what we do is offer down payment assistance, which is what we're famous for, really. So we offer down payment assistance and a low fixed interest rate, usually a little bit below what the prevailing market rate is. And we're doing that this time, too, for the Palmetto Heroes program. We're giving $10,000 toward down payment and closing cost. And that's 0 interest, 0 payments for 15 years. Stay in the home for 15 years, goes away completely. So we've got $10,000 for down payment assistance. But the most important thing this year that we're offering is the low fixed interest rate. We're starting out at 4.875. That's the rate that we set this morning. Everything else, last I checked, was around 6.25 for a 30-year fixed rate. So we're setting out at 4.875. We're going to try and hold it there as long as we can. It might go up a little. It might go down a little. We're going to kind of base it on what the prevailing market rate is, and we're going to try and stay at least a full point, a full percentage rate under whatever that rate is.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. You know, the Federal Reserve last week took no action on federal rates. They said probably the outlook is good, that they'll cut rates a couple of times over the course of the year, but they're still playing a little nervous with what's happening with the economy, and this is a tremendous rate that you can offer.
A lot of people got spoiled by the low rates, 2-3% that we saw for a while, but that was not really realistic and sustainable over the long term. I think that 6 is probably a realistic rate for a little while, but anyone who's been waiting for that rate to come down to make their decision, if you're one of our Palmetto Heroes, this is probably your best opportunity.
So who are the folks that are eligible for this?
I mentioned it started with teachers, but we expanded it to nurses. So now it's teachers, nurses, law enforcement officers, correctional officers, firefighters, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, and also veterans and active duty military and National Guard members.
Oh, wow.
So you think about the first responders, you think about the nurses, think about the teachers, but it's also, the firefighters, and it's also into the military. If we're your best deal, we can cover all of those.
So our true community heroes
Exactly.
are the ones that are eligible for this. Is it a first come, first serve process? How do y'all assign, or how do y'all review and approve the applications?
It is, and that's important because, like most of our programs, this is normally geared toward the first-time home buyer.
Okay.
When we say first-time home buyer, obviously, if you've never owned a home before, this program's for you. You'll also need a 640 or better credit score. We should mention that, but we can qualify with 640 or above. Also, if you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, we consider you a first-time home buyer. And in our targeted counties, and there are a lot of targeted counties across the state, and I'll refer you to the website for those targeted counties, but in the targeted counties, as long as you don't own a home at closing, we'll consider you a first-time home buyer.
Can you give a couple of examples of some of the targeted counties?
Yeah, we've got, of all things, Beaufort, Berkeley, Calhoun, Dorchester, Edgefield, Fairfield, Saluda, and there's a few more. Actually, a lot of counties around South Carolina are considered targeted, and they'll always get our best deal no matter what that is, whether it be Heroes or one of our other programs.
So realtors that want to be their own hero and help their first-time clients in these communities, what a better way, a better tool to help those families, those individuals achieve the dream of home ownership.
Yep.
Tell us about how the program is funded and why you run out of funds so quickly.
Yeah, we're self-funded. South Carolina State Housing operates a lot like a bank. We don't take any state appropriation, no tax money. We're able to do this based on the small fee that we're able to keep. It's a little bit of a spread that the federal government allows us to keep when we do these. So we're operating like a mortgage bank. We can dedicate a certain amount of that every year toward down payment assistance and toward the overall pot. So this year, don't hold me to this, but I think we're going to dedicate about $75 million to it, so we'll be able to book about $60 million. Maybe if it goes fast and it goes well, a little bit more than that, but there's a good little pot of money there for people to get started with. But I wouldn't wait. I would go ahead and get my clients who fit this in to get pre-qualified and get the paperwork started.
Let me just, I think it's important, realtors, to emphasize what you just heard. And this was something, I assumed that there was some federal grants or state grants that were part of this program. This is a self-funded program. This is a state agency that has dedicated its mission to helping first-time home buyers with these programs. And the money doesn't last forever. And if you've got clients, and I know you do, that are struggling to get into that first home, and they fall into this one of these hero categories, don't miss out. Don't sit on the sidelines and wait. You have I believe you've got a duty to take this to your client, get them to apply, so they don't miss out on the opportunity.
Yep. There are income limits. There are home price guidelines. The income limits are going to vary by county and by how many people are obligated to the mortgage. So I hesitate to give a range, but let's just say in Richland County, if it's one or two people on the mortgage, the income limit's going to be $86,900. Three or more persons, $99,935. But let's look at Beaufort County. In Beaufort County, the income limit for one or two people obligated to the mortgage is $127,680. And throughout the state, our home price for this program is limited to $425,000. So that's above the median home value.
So I don't want to talk about what's happening in Congress right now, but what you have guidelines in place to ensure that those Palmetto Heroes that need the help the most are the ones that are eligible to get it.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yep.
The people that need it have a chance to get the help that they need. This is pretty amazing.
And the $10,000 goes a long way toward closing cost and down payment. That's the thing, is that a lot of people right now in our rental environment could afford a home payment on a modest home, but can't save up that down payment. If something happens and you spend the money that you've saved, so we're putting that down payment on the table so that they can maybe clear that hurdle.
That's pretty cool. Where do realtors go to find out more information about this?
The main source of information for us is always going to be our website, schousing.sc.gov. We recently changed that. It used to be schousing.com. We've changed it now. We've improved our website to where it's schousing.sc.gov. And when you open the page, Palmetto Heroes is probably going to be the first thing you see. So click on there. That'll take you to all the applications. That'll take you to all the income limits. That'll take you to the home price limits. It'll give you all the information, and anything that's not there, anything that anyone has another question about, just give us a call. We answer the phone. We're happy to talk about this anytime.
That's awesome. So realtors would provide this link to their clients, and is the application a digital one online or something they print off and mail in? How does that process
That's
work?
going to go through one of our qualified lenders. We're also going to have a list on there of qualified lenders. We don't do the application ourselves, but
Gotcha.
We've got qualified lenders all over the state who have been through our training and know exactly how to produce an application for this. So they'll go to a qualified lender, they'll close the paperwork, and then after that, we buy the loan and take over, and we're your biker after that.
That's awesome. So true community partnerships with our Palmetto Heroes.
Yep.
Mike, can you make sure that we've got a link to the housing in the comments? Clayton, is there anything else that our realtor members need to know about the Palmetto Heroes program?
Look on the list of people here. Think about people that you're trying to qualify now and get into homes, because this is, unfortunately, it's not going to last long, but it's going to last long enough. Move now and get in on this. Make somebody really happy with you with getting them that fixed interest rate. And always remember that even if you've got a client that doesn't qualify in one of these categories, we have always got programs available for pretty much everybody in the state. Of course,
I was going to ask you about that because I know you have a variety of housing
We do.
assistance programs. Can just briefly, can you maybe mention a couple of other things that our realtor members could be helping their clients with?
yeah, we always have our first-time home buyer program that has down payment assistance, and it's always going to be a little bit better interest rate than you can get just out on the open market. We've got other programs for move up that have higher income limits, higher home price limits. If somebody's going to move up into a larger house, again, on our website, I'd refer you to that. We could be here all day talking about that program. And also, we've got a County First program for more rural areas that have some better rates. And if you don't need the down payment assistance, we've got another program that has variable down payment assistance all the way down to zero. So if you don't need down payment assistance, if you've got a little pot of money for that down payment, today we could give you an interest rate at 5.5%.
Wow.
And so that's pretty constant. So look into these programs. If you're a realtor and you haven't checked on SC housing programs lately, please go to our website and look at them because they're really useful and very exciting.
Realtors, as you know, I've always said that knowledge is power, and knowing that there are programs there that can help you with your clients is just part of the job, right? And it's got to be part of your expertise in the communities that you serve. Clayton has shared with us today just a wealth of information that can make a significant impact on the lives of the clients that you're working with. And you know, these heroes that we talk about have been very much top of mind lately, right, Mike? We've had, you know, just this weekend, the governor declared a disaster area up in, I think, Pickens County, another wildfire.
Right.
And our frontline folks there that are working hard to put those fires out. And we had them in Myrtle Beach, Horry County recently. And gosh, I mean, we could go on all day about the service that these men and women provide to our communities across the state. So I think we'll just say thank you for the services that they provide. And realtors, here's a way that you can show your thanks by helping them achieve the dream of home ownership. Clayton, I hope we'll have you back. You're always welcome. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Realtors, a couple of closing thoughts here before we wrap things up today. Again, want to thank Clayton with SC Housing. If you don't follow them on Facebook, you should. If you don't have their website bookmarked in your browser, you should. Their latest offerings, latest programming, they do a great job with their social media content. Please follow that online so that you get the latest information, and of course we'll share it with you as well. Speaking of the latest information, I hate to even bring this up again, but the FinCEN reporting requirement that I know Mike we've posted so much about this since the holidays. You know, this is the Treasury Department requiring companies to file their ownership interests, and you know, we had the court say that it was improper use of the Treasury's authority, and they put a hold on it. Well, then another court said no, it's back on, and back and forth. Finally, the courts gave up and said, okay, we're going to let the Treasury Department do it. The Treasury Department, I think, got some pretty loud signals from Congress saying that they needed to remove some of the burdens off small businesses. So here's the latest from FinCEN and the U.S. Treasury Department. If you are an American-owned business, as I'm speaking to all of our realtor members out there, if you have an LLC, an S-Corp or anything, and you are American, you do not have to file. This filing now only applies to foreign-owned companies. So unless your real estate firm is registered in, I don't know, in Canada. I shouldn't pick on Canada. But if it's are they the 51st state yet? The filing only applies to foreign-owned companies. We'll have an update in our newsletter this week. I'll post something in our broker community as well. Want to remind everyone that tomorrow is March 25th. It's Greek Independence Day. So any of your Greek friends, give them a high five tomorrow. They'll appreciate it. And I think, Mike, with that, we've had a lot of good information today. My thanks again to our friend here in the studio, Clayton Ingram with SC Housing. Realtors, stay safe, stay realtor strong, and we'll be catching up again with you real soon. Take care, everyone.